Hello everyone, this is the review for Unit 6. We discussed a little bit about what we learned and some common themes found throughout Unit 6. So the first part of Unit 6 was about amphibians and reptiles. That includes frogs as well as salamanders, both of which are tied to water. They have to lay their eggs in water. Their larvae begin their life in water with gills having to use water to breathe. They don't develop lungs until later in life, as well as limbs that'll help them live a more terrestrial life. So it's very much double life, which is what the word amphibian means. All frogs are going to develop these fully formed lungs, at least in North Carolina. But salamanders, it varies depending on the kind that we're talking about. Some salamanders are going to develop lungs, some will retain gills, and some will lose their gills, not develop lungs, and completely breathe through their skin. It really just depends on which species you're talking about. For our reptiles, we have lots of turtles, many of which are terrestrial, even though terrestrial turtles are going to be in lots of freshwater habitats. We have the state turtle, or state reptile, is our eastern box turtle. We have lots of different snakes, 5 of which are going to be venomous, but most of them are not going to be. We have 11 different lizards, and none of which are venomous, poisonous, any kind of toxicity. And we have the one species of American alligator. But throughout discussing these reptiles and amphibians, a lot of adaptation themes and the importance of them tended to pop up. For instance, when we discuss amphibians and reptiles and their adaptations, a lot of times we refer to their aquatic adaptations or their terrestrial adaptations. With amphibians, as I just mentioned, it's a lot of both, whether it's starting their life in the water or developing lungs and limbs to live on land. Reptiles are fully developed to live on land, even though many of them still live in the water. They have scaly skin to help protect them and not lose moisture. They have eggs that can retain water and be laid outside of any aquatic area. And there's other unique adaptations as well. For instance, the red-effed stage of the eastern newt has very high toxicity and will warn many of its would-be predators with this aposematic danger coloration. And other salamanders will copy it, having a bright coloration too, who aren't quite as toxic anyway, but get the same benefit. The eastern glass lizard, as well as many other lizards and salamanders, have the ability to regenerate lost limbs and tissue. They can lose a tail and grow it back as a defense mechanism. Snakes have really great adaptations for consuming their prey. Number one, obviously, is the venom that a lot of the pit vipers have, evolved modified saliva, and their jaws can unhinge from their skull. Their bottom jaws can unhinge from the opposite side of the jaw and walk their prey back into their mouth, which is fascinating. But most amphibians work really well as bioindicators, indicators of environmental quality, since they are so sensitive with their permeable skin to their pollution in their environment. And reptiles make great symbols of wildlife ambassadors to your ecosystem, because they're large and sometimes scary and fascinating, and there's so much to learn about them, as many of us have learned from Steve Irwin. But I hope this was helpful to you and that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you.